In this clip, John and I tackled Disney's Gen Z man problem. Young men just aren't showing up for their movies. We dig into why endless reboots and recycled storylines just don't cut it anymore. Plus, we learned John would fail any Star Wars quiz. Confusing Star Wars with Star Trek? As if. Forget naming a Stephanie Mills song. Drop your Star Wars quiz questions for John in the comments, hit subscribe, and let's talk.
Speaking of decisions that individuals make, the final story that caught my attention was Disney. And apparently they have a Gen Z male problem. And you will appreciate this because you're more expert on this than I am. They don't have a lot of vehicles that are for Gen Z men. And so they're trying to determine what movies or any type of movies that are directed toward those men or Gen Z men that are between 18 and 29 and getting them into the movie theaters because they do have movies that are geared toward women. Men is apparently, especially Gen Z men, is apparently something that they're having difficulty with. What say you about in the comic book world and the things that are being produced or coming out down the pike with respect to those action movies?
It's interesting. So you know that my youngest is a film major. And one of the things that I challenged him is I said, when you start your journey, be creative, be bold, be brave, take a risk. Because a lot of the things that we see right now are repurposed. And so they're doing a remake of whatever. There's this cycle of things. But if you look at Gen Z and they have a different approach, apparently they like safe rooms and whatever, you're going to have to embrace that. If you want them in the movie theater, you're going to have to embrace that. But there's another bigger problem about getting them into the movie theater, if that's what you're saying, physically into the movie theater. That's not, I don't think that that's
not necessarily in the movie theater, but interested in the vehicles that is producing.
Right. And so that I think that obviously is going to have to suspend some of the assumptions and some of the, I don't know, just discomfort that people have with Gen Z altogether and be brave, be imaginative, and put out content that's resonating with a different generation. Because again, I go to the movie theater and I'm just like, this is the same old nonsense. If I see another Jurassic Park, I guess I'll just see another Jurassic Park. But that's not the point of this.
But again, you have to educate me on this. But isn't Marvel and George Lucas, so that's Star Trek, right? George Lucas is Star Trek.
Jesus, help me. Go on, John.
One is Star Trek.
Lucas is Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, Star Wars, Star Trek, same thing for me.
No, it's literally not. And I will write you a strongly worded Chuck Schumer letter.
What is the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars?
No, we're not doing that.
No, we are.
We'll do it in the comments, but we're not doing that because it'll take too long.
So
it doesn't make any sense. How is it the same? Star Wars and Star Trek?
The stars. This is Greek to me. I'm sorry. I'm just not into it. But no. So you have Star Wars, Star Trek, right? So is Disney Star Wars?
I'm not doing it.
I
can't.
What is Marvel then? That Luke Cage?
Well, I'm sorry.
Is that Luke Cage, those guys?
Yes.
Okay.
It is Luke Cage in those films.
Right? Okay.
And so actually, that's a very good point. So Marvel was acquired by Disney. And so a lot of the programs that were initially on Netflix were moved over to like the Disney Channel. So Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, all of those moved over to Disney. And so the interesting thing about that is those shows were cutting edge. They were different. They just had another season of Daredevil, which my son actually really enjoyed that one because it is something that speaks to the culture today. They obviously set it into an imaginative environment, but they talk about a lot of the things that are happening today. And I think that the media needs to lean into that and to produce more of it. But I think there's a fear. There's a fear, and it's always been a fear in media, that we have to produce content that the majority of the people that think a certain way will go to. And they're not challenging the narrative. They're not asking people, hey, come on this journey with us. We talked about Sinners before, right? And one of the things I really like when I go to the movie theater or when I go to a movie is something that's new, something that after that movie and I go to dinner and I'm talking about it, it just sticks with me. And I just see the same old repurposed thing. Freaky Friday, I could go see it because it looks funny. Those things, like I've seen this so many times. And let's just do things that challenge the American people and be brave and be the voice for the future.
So when your son is thinking about movies and you tell him to be creative, Disney is not one of the franchises or one of the studios that they think about?
For him, for being creative.
Yes.
There are things like if you look at the Disney Channel, there are Disney Plus. There are some things that they have introduced, like the little Marvel offshoots, like
Mhm,
Ironheart this time. It's a very dark take on Iron Man,
mhm.
right? And it features a Black female. It's different. There was one Miss Marvel. Like they push the boundaries, but it's not mainstream. If you don't have a subscription to Disney Plus, you're not going to watch it. You're not going to see it because it's
So
only in that environment.
so I have a subscription to Disney Plus, and I probably had one for 5 years. I probably watched the equivalent of a day's worth of content.
That's because they don't have documentaries on the sex life of a fruit fly, which is something that appeals to you.
Lord, thank you for giving me patience. Miss Lynn, as you think about the week that passed, what thing jumped out to you that caught your attention?
In the media or in my personal life? Because I will be real honest. I spent a large majority of this week in a state where it looked like I was watching Mr. Take Nellie from Miss Seeley just on loop. My kid left. And so I haven't been really tuned into anything other than me and my feelings and apparently find my iPhone every 20 minutes. What's he doing now? What's he doing now? Where is he now?
So you're stalking,
No, no, no. I know. Apparently, in some circles, that's considered unhealthy.
yet is it unhealthy behavior? All right. So you were you were obviously in your feelings this week.
Yeah.
So hopefully this last week, excuse me. So hopefully this week will be a better week for you. What do you have planned for this week?
So I do have plans later on today. I'm trying to get myself out of this loop of "Oh, my baby's gone. And so I do have some plans. But another thing that my dad and I are working on, because again, apparently in some circles, I'm looking at find my iPhone every 20 minutes is called unhealthy, whatever. Any rate, so we're going to, and look for furniture. You know, I like to reimagine and repurpose antique furniture. So one of the ideas is to find a piece of furniture, incorporate some elements from like my sister, my grandmother, other people, so that we can create a piece that will be featured in his home, his first home once he graduates. And that will be something that will be another legacy for him and something that's a love that my dad and I both share. And we'll be able to do that. So I'll be spending some time in antique stores and trying to get inspired so I can have a starter piece and then reimagine some furniture.
Good, good. That's a great project, and I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
I don't know.
Well, this week is all about college football.
Back.
We have the start of the college football season that begins this week.
You know how I feel about college football. So this will be fun.
Yeah, it's my favorite sport, and this
I
is
just don't believe it's real, but okay. You know, I'm for the NFL.
so we'll be kicking off this weekend coming up on Labor Day weekend, obviously, with watching football that starts, I believe, on Thursday night and ends on Monday night. So you should have 4 days, and then the week after that, then you have the NFL season that kicks off.
Some football. I sure am.
You have to stop.
I do have to stop. I haven't dropped any F-bombs, so that's good.
No, you haven't
Progress.
yet. Thank you again for taking the time to spend with us this evening, folks. We hope you find this conversation insightful and informative. We hope that you are learned something today, and we hope that we added value to your day and to your life. While you're out and about this week, make some time to do something nice for yourself. And then while you're at it, make some time to do something nice for someone else. Till next time, we'll talk to you. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another lively conversation on I Take Your Point. This podcast is a production of the SME LLC Media Group. All rights reserved. If you are enjoying the show, hit the subscribe button in the top right corner. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and check out past episodes. Until next time, take care and be well.